First of all, my apologies. I'm not the Jeff from Amazon you were hoping for. So he couldn't make it today, but I am the Jeff taking us from Web 2 to Web 3. So looking forward to seeing where this goes. How many of you are building a company in the audience? How many are using AWS? Sweet, we can help you even further. And those of you who aren't, there's a lot more that we can do to help out. So happy to go there. So again, empowering builders to redefine the internet. AWS, I've been there for 5.5 years. I founded our business when it comes to Web3. It was not called Web3 back then. It was blockchain and crypto. It's evolved into the Web3 world. So looking forward to this journey. We'll take you on it. So let's kick in. Actually, should have had that first. So a little bit about history. So AWS has been doing this longer than anybody when it comes to supporting companies in blockchain, crypto, and Web3. So it's one of those things where the way we've been built up from an AWS perspective, we are always here about supporting our builders. The big thing is about developers and building that and helping what we do from that perspective. So I want to stress that AWS has been doing this longer than anyone. We may not market that. There might be a reason for that. Being a big centralized player in a decentralized world, one thing that we always are focused on is how do we stay under the radar, helping power you, build what you need to build, and go from there. So that is a real important part from our standpoint, is what tools do you need? What tools can we help give you, and build from that. So one of the teams, we have a number of teams globally, the way we operate. So these are all different types of functions, from account managers to business development people to solution architects, and then to our product teams. So one thing that we spend a lot of time on is understanding what you need and what tools are you missing when it relates to Web3. So we spend a lot of time understanding those needs, what goes on. We have ways within AWS to funnel that up and make sure we're giving those tools that you have. So those people who raised their hands earlier, if you have questions as to why don't I have that, I'd be happy to talk to you after the session, and we'll see if we can help you out on that front as far as where that is. So one thing that we do, when you look at the way our teams are built and how we kind of build on that, we have people, like I said, all around the world that are helping support you as builders. And at the end of the day, we try to be an extension of your team. How do we look at it as if, we know startups are resource constrained. We know that things are a little bit tough as far as for money, but also hiring and so forth. Our teams are here to help you be an extension of that team. We want to see you scale, we want to see you grow, and we want to see you move forward as far as what takes place. We have a number of programs to help support our customers. One of them is called Activate. Activate is a credit program where we help give out credits to customers to spend on AWS, but it's a great way for you to kind of play around as far as what AWS is all about. It's much deeper than just the credits though. I can't reiterate enough how our teams do support you as far as where we can take this. If you have an obstacle as you're building, our teams are there to help support you. So when you think of solution architects, a number of them are actually in the crowd here today. They're here to help you, help identify any obstacles you may have, get around those, and get your product shipped faster. What can we do to help you ship much faster as far as with regards to that? Our products and services, like I said, Web3, we've been building a number of things. Compute is a real big part of this whole world when you think about blockchain and crypto. So we are the best when it comes to compute. There's a lot that we can do to help support you on that front. When you think of storage, our S3, there's a number of other products that we have on the storage front. There's so many other areas that I can't go into in 15 minutes, but happy to kind of just share just a little bit more afterwards. Like I said, we've got many people here in the crowd that can support you that are from AWS, but any ways that we can help support where things go. One other thing that I'll call out as far as, like, we have our partner network, our marketplace, there's ways to help tell your story, get that information out to other customers as far as what you're looking for and how they can start using your product, no matter what it is, be it if you're a security company or you're an identity company or whatever it may be. There's ways that we can help you get that word out. We have dedicated teams that's their job. Their job is to help understand what your needs are and get that word out to either the largest companies in the world, who happen to be our customers also, all the way down to the 2 girls in a hoodie that are starting out that may need your tools as far as what's going on and how that plays into it. And then one other part that our teams are really focused on, it's not just AWS, it's also Amazon. So there's a number of things that we help support our customers with, like we have a lot of, I'll say, low-hanging fruit. I don't like that term, but I'll use it anyways. So we have like the Twitches of the world, our payments team, are from Prime Video to you name it, to music. There's a lot of ways that Web3 plays into that. There are a number of things, and I can't share too much about what it is, but there are a lot of things that we're doing as Amazon looks at Web3 and what's going on. I play a big role in our strategy, not just with AWS, but also with all of Amazon as to how that looks. So if you're a company that's building, there may be ways that we can help you out as far as things that we may need and where we go with that. And then the last part on this slide that I'll talk about is customers. I mean, that's number one. That customer obsession is a big thing about AWS and how our business is built. So what we really focus on, like I said, we'll start with the 2 girls in a hoodie just starting out in a garage, all the way up to the most impactful companies in the segment. So AWS is a great home for you to help build. Our job is really just to be behind the scenes and help you move on to the next level. Wherever you want to take your company, we've seen these movies before, we can help out any way that we can. The other part that we do look at is we are touching all segments within Web3. So when you think of like layer 1s, layer 2s, we work very closely with them. If you think about it, every year, basically, the top 25 layer 1 or layer 2s changes. It's musical chairs, outside of number 1 and 2 being Bitcoin and Ethereum. But we're always constantly trying to understand which layer 1s are the developers going to. We're agnostic when it comes to that. We don't pick and choose which layer 1s or layer 2s are going to move up ahead. Our job is to help you as a developer understand the needs to help you build and to where that goes. So we do work very closely with those layer 1s, layer 2s. I will say I'm always looking at who's number 50 or who's number 60 on that list. That may be number 10. That could be something if you're building a game company, how we can help out. So definitely something we spend a lot of time on. Other areas, definitely DeFi, Web3 infrastructure, from custody to wallets. There's so many places that I can go on that front, but we're constantly looking at how we're playing with that. One other area that I'll call out here is exchanges, which is a very interesting topic right now, given the last, I'll say 48, 72 hours. So definitely some things going on that front. But what I will say is AWS is the leader when it comes to powering crypto exchanges. We work very closely with the biggest names that are out there, helping support them as to what they're doing. And if you're looking to build into that, be it you're an analytics company or you're just looking at any way that you can kind of participate in this ecosystem, our job is to help patch you up with your customers. The other part too is, I can't stress this enough, it's global reach. Most of you who are starting your companies, your team isn't all in the same room, they're all around the world. So we're here to help you in any way that we can on that side. And the other thing that I'll call out here is we work very closely with Web3 native investors. So the VC communities, the DAOs, the guilds, a lot of things on that front where we're working very closely with them to not only help them identify who those next companies they invest in, but then also supporting their portfolio companies. What do we do to go deeper with them and help them out? So we've built a lot of good relationships. It's fun for me in my job as far as making those connections. When I understand their thesis, I know what you're building, and I make that match happen and investment takes place. There's been a number of great stories where these companies have been funded and soon become unicorns and grow on to bigger and better things. So let's talk a little bit more about AWS. So we have over 200 services, products and services that are out there. I'll talk about pace of innovation. Every 3 hours, AWS announces a new feature, which is pretty crazy. It's hard enough working at AWS to know what we announced today, let alone what we announced last week. But the way our teams are set up is so you as a builder understand all the tools that you have and the way that they can be used. At the end of the day, our teams want you to not spend as much money on AWS. We want you to be optimized. We want you to keep your lights on much longer. So we spend a lot of time around understanding what that pace of innovation looks like. As I mentioned before, our teams work very closely with you, the founders, to understand what tools you need. We have ways to bubble that up internally to build those products. And in the near future, you will see more and more products related to Web3 and what takes place on that front. We have reInvent coming up, which is our big conference. It's, November 28th to December 1st. So there will be some announcements there. I can't say what they are, but there will be some things there. And then next year, you're going to see a whole bunch of additional Web3 announcements that take place. And again, that's learning from you, our customers, of what you need and what we build to help support that. I will call out security. Security is becoming a bigger and bigger thing. It always should be a big thing when it comes, as it relates to crypto and blockchain. It's becoming even bigger, and now companies are really understanding what they need to build on that. We are the best when it comes to security standards. No one compares to us on that front, and we have a lot of ways to help you with that regards. The other part that I'll talk about is our availability zones. We have the broadest range to cover. I mean, it's a global world when you think of Web3 and where this goes. We continue to add more zones. In fact, we've made a few announcements in the last couple of days of additional zones taking place here in EMEA. So very cool as far as what that is. The last one that I'll call out, obviously we love reducing prices. That's always good for you as a founder or builder of how we do reduce prices on that front. But I do like to call out the 100% renewable by 2025. All of our products will be on renewable energy as it relates to that. So just a couple things to kind of make you think about where that is. So let's talk a little bit more about how we actually support you. So obviously cloud infrastructure is what we do. That is first and foremost. So we'll get in deep with your technical teams, help out with anything that we can do on that side. The other part that I'll call out is the go-to-market. How do we then connect you to those customers? What doors can we open up? We have hundreds of thousands of customers worldwide, be it the largest companies in the world to the smallest. Anything, again, that we can open up doors for you. So we have like our partner network, our marketplaces, different areas where we can hit home as far as delivering those results for you and ultimately helping you grow. And then finally, I mean, we're a book company, so I like to talk about telling stories. So visibility is really important as far as what we can do to help support you as a company. So there's a number of different ways we do that through our own events, through events like this. A number of people, or a number of companies in this room are our customers, kind of helping them out any way that we can tell that story. Content, blogs, videos, you name it. A lot of different ways that we can do that. Help tell that story. The final one that I'll call out here is how does AWS contribute back to Web3? As we all know, this is a community. What do we do to give back? The thing that I really strike hard on my teams is how are we providing value, not extracting value from our customers? What are we doing to help give you value, to help you grow? And I think that's one place where we continue to excel at, and that's not going to stop. That's something that we will continue to move forward on day after day after day. And again, at Amazon, those in the crowd that are from AWS, it's always day one. So for us, we're always trying to learn, always trying to grow. So I'll close with this slide, again, talking about the day one culture. Anything that we can do, we were a startup at one time. However, I still say that I work at the largest startup in the world. We just happen to be pretty well funded. And doing all right on that front. But from that standpoint, the one thing that's cool about AWS is we have the power, anyone within the company has the power to grow, to be able to have an idea and make that happen. And I think that's one thing when you think about culture, as you're building your companies, every single hire you make changes that culture. So as you're thinking through that, how do you look at it? What do you do to make culture happen? And how do you take that to the next level as far as what we can do? So I will say I am maybe a little biased having worked at Amazon, but it's kind of cool. When I started this group as far as AWS, when you think about crypto and blockchain, I saw that blank page and I was just the author. So that's something that I push on my teams and everyone that we're looking at is be the author, don't be the reader. So that means writing, that means like what are we learning, how do we educate, what do we do to move forward? The other part of that is anyone who works at AWS, at least on my teams, it's a choose your own adventure. This is a place where you can kind of come in, you can go figure out what do you want to do, how do you want to have impact on Web3. And for me, it's been fun just to see the growth of our teams and the way this business continues to grow. And as we all know in this room, it's just starting. So that's the fun part. And I'll close on this. So we are hiring, we're always looking for talent, we're always looking to help out. So happy to talk to anyone. And try to get us back on time. I will cut it short, but thanks for your time today and looking forward to it. Thank you. Okay.
Hold on. You're like the Jeff Bezos of Web3, right? You're like the Jeff Bezos of AWS, huh?
Yeah, I'm Web 2 to Web 3. I'm the other Jeff. So that's my game.
Awesome presentation. Thank you so much. I'm going to send over my CV, so you better give me some treatment on this. Thanks very much. Big hand for Jeff. Great presentation, Jeff. Thanks.